finally have the early access of Hades 2 right here, and oh boy, is it just as beautiful and painfully difficult as the previous one. Well, it's not difficult per se, it's not that the game, it's really difficult on itself. It's just that that's the rogue-like aspect, trait of the game, that you are going to die. You're inherently going to die. Now, there are some ways that you can alleviate your experience, some things that you need to do to be better, to make everything that much better, to make everything that much smoother. There are some boons that we're going to be discussing about right here, but the thing is that in this game you can't die, and that is basically the signature of the genre on itself. You die, you immediately go back to the game. You get better and better and better to the point that you become a god, and it's really not that difficult to go through the entirety of the run for you to be able to finish the run on itself. But when you're starting out, it's going to take quite a while, and it's going to take for a lot of trial and error in the first areas of the game. And that's the thing, to make your character stronger, to make it better, you have to go farther and farther into the depths of the underworld. And you're not going to be able to do so if you don't have survivability. There's no means of healing yourself in this game. You can't heal, you lose your health, you immediately lose it forever, and there are not so many means. There's a couple of things that you can do to alleviate this, like using armor or using fountains. And some things around here and there, but there is like no potion, there is no healing on demand whenever you're going to need it. So that is why we're going to be discussing about the two of the most important boons, and as a matter of fact, it's just one important boon that you should always be using, that you are going to combine with different things. The boon that we're speaking about comes from Selene. Selene gives you basically what it's like. You will come to know it as a ultimate, like the kind of boon, the ultimate of your character. We have right here Moon Water. Your hex restores 25 health up to 3 times, which reset whenever you use fountains. How does this work? You basically have to use your magic. You have to use your mana. Thankfully enough, it's not that really difficult, it's not really that high, but didn't you say that it was going to be on demand? Yes, it is of course going to be on demand, but we're going to combine it with some different little things later on. This, you can upgrade this thing for it to heal you more, and I'm not saying that it's just on the boon on itself, like to increase the rarity. I mean that you can actually open up a skill tree on this boon and increase the amount of health that you're going to get from this, the amount of times that you can use this, because you can use this up to 3 times after you have reached a fountain. Fountains, you're usually going to find them after boss fights, but there's a couple of ways later on to increase the amount of fountains that you have scattered through the game. But this is essentially potions on demand. And now, why do I say on demand? If it's to some extent we're not going to have enough magic to be able to use it on demand. Well, yes, we are, if we combine it with something different, like for example, Ionic gain. The Ionic gain is going to gradually restore your magic, but your total amount is going to be reduced by 70%. Now, on the gameplay that you see in the background, you will see me abusing my magic because I'm going to be getting it back. So what is it that you want to do, what you have to do? Well, you basically use your magic and then use your mana regen. There's many ways of getting mana regen in the game. With your base cards, on the base cards that you choose on the main base, there's also this one, which is a Zeus trade, a Zeus boon. I believe there's also one for Demeter. She also has another one. So there's many ways of getting mana regen. There's also one from Poseidon. Poseidon has another one. So like I said, there's many ways of getting your mana back, and essentially what you're going to want to be doing, using your mana for you to be able to unlock the Selene boon that is going to grant you healing on demand. Now later on, this might not sound that important when you become so powerful, when you have so many unlocks, when you have so many things, when you actually have different builds, and those different builds require for you to have the endgame, I'm guessing that the endgame ultimate DPS kind of thing. But let's remember that in this game you have to progress to get regens, to get materials. Those materials, you're going to be using them to increase the power, abilities and capacity for dealing damage, for support, for getting more things as you explore throughout the worlds, and getting the chance to be healing. And as a matter of fact, you can have like if you upgrade this thing to the maximum, you can have easily like 5 times of healing right here with this one on demand. So yes, I think that this is a must, that every time that you see Celine, you have to choose, you have to be looking for this one, because it's going to increase your survivability that much more, making you progress that much more faster into the game. If you like the content, like and never is super appreciated, and also you that you're a gorgeous and beautiful person, you're in that a gorgeous and beautiful person. Have a lovely, lovely day, goodbye.